said stick to the plan.
I am. I'm just gonna go get some chocolate pudding. I'm telling you, lunch lady Phyllis hoards that shit.
You realize we have like tremendous pressure from all sorts of organizations to not tell you anything. So like anything we reveal to you will be used against us. What are we most excited about? I do love the way the characters have progressed in the year that you don't see them. So they start out a year later and they're totally sort of new people as a result of this experience that happened last year in Hawkins,
I'm the
right?
same old Joyce.
Well,
you know.
you've updated a little bit, you know?
Joyce is
You've, like-
perfect.
Except
Joyce is
Joyce doesn't have to
absolutely
change.
Perfect.
Joyce doesn't have to change. You saw a lot of interesting stuff, I thought, last year around the complicated dynamics between Hopper and Joyce, but in a very specific situation. Like Will was lost and she was like struggling with that and Hopper was trying to find him. So you have these little dynamics, but now the world is a little more open. And you introduce, you know, the color of this Sean's character is like adds a whole nother level to the world, and it really opens it up and makes it so colorful.
Bob doesn't know anything that happened. So he just loves Joyce and uh-oh.
yeah, and then he opens the door. Clearly, things aren't the same. That was always a big question, though. How did she talk to the kids about everything that happened? Because
Well, the kids are who the kids are. I mean,
Yeah.
they are. They're little grown-ups trapped inside adventurous kids' bodies.
When you're writing for characters that are in their 40s, you know, they still have these hearts that are yearning for the same thing that a child yearns for, which is friendship, or which is love, or which is acceptance. And so in that way...
Safety.
Deep Harbor.
Sorry to take it down, everybody.
He's telling
I'm
the
sorry to
truth.
reveal that I yearn for acceptance and love.
Amen.
I love you. I accept you. But I'm new here.
Hey everybody, so they're dropping all kinds of Stranger Things Season 2. It's dropping at the end of the month if you didn't catch that title card at the end of the promo. So if you didn't know, I will be doing videos when the season gets here, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. And I might do a giveaway too. I'll explain all that stuff at the end of the video. But as they say, this picks up a year later. As you can see, and I think I said in my last big trailer video that posted around Comic-Con, the events of Season 2 coincide with Halloween, so it just makes for a lot of fun that they get to have with that. There's a lot of 80s horror pop culture things that they referenced during the series, so that was the big reason they used the Thriller song in the last video. Big Michael Jackson 80s song, but was also tied to a lot of the undead rising up. So that sort of went into the idea of how the upside down is turning right side up, as in it's coming into the real world. Like they've been releasing a lot of posters where you see something came back with Will. Like they're just making it sound like the Thessal Hydra, as they sort of name it at the end of Season 1, is going to be using Will as a conduit to make it into the real world, and then it will sort of spread the upside down. So the real world will become upside down. But as you can see, there's a lot of new characters that are debuting. We have Sean Astin's character, who's going to be in a relationship with Will's mother, and he sort of runs the grocery store. He's not meant to be a really crazy character. He's just meant to be this normal guy who gets tied up in all this craziness as things start to spiral out of control. But obviously part of the other appeal of casting him is because he was one of the Goonies, and the series is sort of the modern day version of that in TV form. But there's a really cool theory about the Hawkins laboratory with another character. So 11 is the big character of Season 1. You learn they're experimenting on her, but she's number 11. So what happened to the other 10? Well, there's another new character called Roman that they just cast, and the theory is that she's actually going to be number 10, or she'll be one of the other 10 that escaped from the lab. So looking at the episode titles, there are a whole bunch of 80s Easter eggs in here that you'll recognize. Some are a little bit more subtle. There's Episode 1, Mad Max, then The Boy Who Came Back to Life, The Pumpkin Patch, The Palace, The Storm, The Pollywog, The Secret Cabin, The Brain, and The Lost Brother. So the finale is called The Lost Brother. So the theory is that they're going to find somebody else who was lost in the Upside Down, who was part of the Hawkins laboratory, and they just thought was gone. So you hear the synopsis for this Roman character, and it just sounds like it will wind up being her lost brother, because it says, after growing up homeless with a drug-addicted mother, she suffered a great loss at an early age and has been seeking revenge ever since. Roman is ultimately an outsider who doesn't understand how to connect with people. an emotionally damaged, magnetic young woman who suffered a great loss as a child. Although she doesn't live in Hawkins, she's mysteriously connected to the supernatural events at the lab. So that just makes it sound like she was one of the test subjects along with her brother, and she escaped, but he did not and was lost in the Upside Down. So it seems like she winds up in Hawkins seeking revenge, and she'll have a special connection with Eleven and with the other kids. The other real big one who doesn't appear in any of these promos is actually Paul Reiser's character. He's playing Dr. Owens. He's sort of the replacement person for the Hawkins laboratory because it was implied that Brenner was taken by the monster at the end of season 1. We don't know if he's alive, but I think they said he'd be coming back, but in a roundabout way. Like there was going to be some big twist for it. So just let me know in the comments, what are you guys most excited for in season 2? Obviously, I think we're expecting Eleven's powers to grow a little bit, so she'll do some crazy shit. There'll be a crazy number of Easter eggs. That's probably what most of my videos will be for. Like, I'll try to find all the Easter eggs in the episodes. But if you're a big fan of the Hopper character, they did say that we would learn more about his backstory. Remember, he lost his daughter, so he's sort of emotionally adopted Eleven, so he'll be really happy when she comes back. But we'll actually get to see a little bit about what happened without over-explaining it. So I almost forgot, they actually also confirm that they will likely go beyond 4 seasons. So if you're confused why they would say something like that, the kids are growing really fast. In fact, Finn Wolfhard was in It. He's going to grow a couple feet in the next couple years, but their characters aren't going to age that fast unless they have some way of explaining that. So because they only shoot like 10 to 13 episodes a season, I think it's just a little bit easier for them to schedule around all these other child actors' schedules. Because Netflix has deep pockets, but it's just really hard to get an actor when they're busy shooting $150 million movies all year long. But if you were wondering, yes, there is a future for Stranger Things. They'll go 4 or 5 seasons, as many as they can, so it's not like they're going to cancel it anytime soon. It was one of those series that was kind of a slow burn. It took a lot of people a little while to find it, but also don't forget that The Punisher is also dropping in November, although there are rumors that it might drop in October around New York Comic Con too. If that winds up happening, then I'll just start posting episode videos when it does drop. But as we get more information about that, I'll just post new videos. So there'll be more Stranger Things as we get closer to the end of the month. Obviously, all the DC TV stuff is coming back too. So make sure you click that bell to enable alerts so you don't miss any of the videos. But you can click here to rewatch that season 2 trailer, and you can click here for brand new Rick and Morty. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.